Football is often a game of chaos, a frantic dance of speed, strength and aggression. But amidst this storm, there was Andrea Pirlo, a player who turned the chaos into symphony, who saw patterns in the noise. Watching Pirlo play was like watching a painter at work. Every stroke deliberate, every movement meaningful. But how good was Andrea Pirlo? To answer that, we need to tell the story of a boy from Brescia who grew up into the Maestro of football. Pirlo's story begins in the quiet streets of Flero, Italy, where as a boy he first fell in love with the ball. It wasn't just a game for him, it was an obsession. While other kids saw football as fun, Pirlo saw it as an art form. From a young age, he stood out, not for his physicality, but for his brain. Coaches would marvel at how he would seem to know what would happen seconds before it happened. That is what set him aside from all the other kids. To understand Pirlo's greatness, you first have to understand his role. He was a regista, a deep-lying playmaker. In football, this role is like the conductor of an orchestra, someone who dictates the tempo and direction of play. But Pirlo didn't become the regista by choice, it was born from necessity. At Inter Milan, he struggled as a traditional attacking midfielder, often overshadowed. It wasn't until his move to AC Milan under the guidance of Carlo Ancelotti that he was transformed into the deep-lying playmaker we know today. That change was a turning point of his career. Pirlo had an almost supernatural vision. He didn't just see the play with the ball, he saw the entire pitch. His passes were not just accurate but visionary, designed to exploit spaces others didn't even know existed. He was the player who made you believe he has eyes in the back of his head. Imagine being on the pitch, surrounded by chaos. Players pressing you from all angles, the roar of the crowd deafening. Most players would panic, but not Pirlo. He had that calmness that felt almost eerie, like he knew something the rest of us didn't. He didn't just react to the game, he absolutely controlled it. What set Pirlo apart was his precision. His long balls would glide through the air and land perfectly at his teammates' feet. Whether it was a 40-yard diagonal to the wing or a subtle flick in midfield, Pirlo's passing was poetry in motion. It's as if he saw the game in slow motion while everyone else scrambled to keep up. Pirlo's composure was legendary. Imagine this, you're in the 93rd minute of a high-stakes match, surrounded by defenders. The pressure is immense, the crowd is restless. For most players, this would be overwhelming. But for Pirlo, it was just another day at the office. He always looked unbothered, like he had all the time in the world. This calmness was his superpower. Once, when asked about his secret to dealing with pressure, Pirlo said, "I don't feel pressure. I spent the afternoon of July 9th, 2006 in Berlin sleeping and playing PlayStation. In the evening, I went out and won the World Cup." That's what Pirlo was, a player who thrived when others faltered. And then there were the free kicks, a skill that elevated him into the realm of legends. Pirlo didn't just strike the ball, he sculpted it. The ball would glide, dip, curl in ways that seemed to defy physics. Goalkeepers dreaded facing him knowing they had no chance. He was a master of the maldetta, a technique that made the ball dip suddenly after clearing the wall. It was as if Pirlo had tamed the ball, making it obey his every command. Over his career, he scored 43 free kick goals, each one a masterpiece. Pirlo wasn't fast, and he wasn't physical. Yet, he was unstoppable because of his mind. His tactical intelligence was unmatched. In the regista role, Pirlo didn't just play the game, he orchestrated it. If his team needed to slow things down, Pirlo would hold possession, recycle the ball until the right opportunity opened up. When they needed to attack, he would switch to play with a single pass, turning defense into offense in an instant. Defenders feared him not because of what he did with the ball, but because of what he could make others do. Pirlo didn't need to run, he made the ball run for him. But Pirlo's greatness wasn't just in his technique or intelligence, it was his ability to perform when it mattered the most. Particularly fast forward to the Euro 2012, he gave us another iconic moment, the Panenka penalty against England in the quarterfinals. Under immense pressure with the eyes of the world watching, Pirlo chipped the ball into the net with the calmness of a man taking a stroll in the park. That was Pirlo, a player who never let the moment overwhelm him. What truly set Pirlo apart wasn't just his technical skill, but his mindset. He once said, "Football is played with the head, your feet are just the tools." And that philosophy defined his game. He didn't need to outrun or outmuscle opponents, he simply outthought them. His humility and work ethic complemented his natural talent. Despite his brilliance, Pirlo was never flashy off the pitch. He let his performances speak for themselves. And when it comes to the stats, it is impeccable. Over 750 club appearances and 116 international caps for Italy, 6 Serie A titles, 2 Champions League trophies, 1 World Cup, and countless individual accolades. Pirlo's career was a collection of achievements most players can only dream of. Now, in this day and age, players like Sandro Tonali and Jorginho have been compared to Pirlo, but none have truly unmatched his unique blend of vision, technique, and composure. Andrea Pirlo didn't just redefine a position, he redefined what it means to be a footballer. So, how good was Andrea Pirlo? He wasn't just a great footballer, he was a timeless artist, a reminder that amidst football's chaos, there's always room for elegance, intelligence, and beauty.